Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. So we're looking over here and we see out of Twitter a tweet. It's talking about the wall down in Texas. It's falling apart apparently as the hurricane force winds come in contact with it.
Which is absolutely incredible. You would think that they would be able to have thought of that before this happened, though.
Yeah, you would kind of think that, it'd be built to withstand it. And this is really, at the moment, it's back down tropical storm winds. So, doesn't look like it was constructed too well.
No, it doesn't, which is so sad.
And we do see damage here as well as this poor gentleman looks really, really depressed. A mess caused by Tropical Storm Hannah, or former Hurricane Hannah. And we do have Hurricane Douglas as well. And Hurricane Douglas may be only the third hurricane to ever make landfall in Hawaii, which is interesting. And currently, it is off the coast of Maui. And it's going to be close. It's definitely going to bring quite a bit of rain to the area. As far as the direct impact, we'll see it shouldn't be too long. But again, thankfully, it's only a Category 1 at this point.
I know, that's really great. That's good.
And this is out of Strange Sounds. Hurricane Hannah slams Texas twice. Actually did make 2 landfalls with heavy rain, strong wind. First hurricane of the 2020 Atlantic season to make landfall twice as a Category 1 storm. The first happened about 24 kilometers north of Port Mansfield, and the second landfall was nearby in eastern Kennedy County, as we see the location. And heavy rain is likely to lead to life-threatening flash flooding in southern Texas and northeastern Mexico, even as Hurricane Hannah weakens. So it's been an interesting season so far. Thankfully, we haven't seen flooding like we're seeing over in China in our area. This is incredible. Every day we look at, they're like little toy cars getting carried away. And so this is Jiangxi County, and this is in Hubei. This has just been ongoing for, since early June, and it's just incredible.
I know. They look like those little bobbers, those fish bobbers. That's so scary.
And it's interesting, too, because you get some structures, like there was one that was from 700, 750 AD, and, flooded. So obviously, this is really not typical, not even in the, bigger scheme of things, what we're seeing over there. It's more than a 1,000-year flood when you look at it in that, from that point of view. And you have over 45 million people in 27 of China's provinces. And they say that it's about 16.5 billion in losses, 116 billion yuan. Just massive. So we have Comet Interceptor. ESA announces new space mission to intercept pristine comets, especially ones like that are very curious, like Oumuamua, which maybe it was a comet, maybe it wasn't, coming in from a different, solar system, different galaxy. It's just, we've seen a lot of firsts, and this is an interesting time to say the least. But the European Space Agency announced a new mission, Comet Interceptor. It's expected to launch in 2028. Well, a lot could happen between now and 2028. I think there's going to be a ton of comments. Let it out, guys. What do you think the world's going to look like in 2028? Do you think that they're going to be launching this mission?
I think they'll wish they would have had the Comet Interceptor sooner.
Yeah, and when I see stuff like this, to me, it feels like it's kind of that setup, getting your mindset that there's going to be things coming in. We've heard all about these asteroids, Nibiru coming in, Planet X, the Nemesis system, the whole 9 yards. So, and then, Oumuamua was really a curious thing that came in and slingshotted around the sun and took off just like an interstellar spaceship you would expect would do.
Yeah, that was really cool.
So now they're saying the South Atlantic anomaly, which we've been keeping track of, and watching and taking it as an indicator that we are experiencing a magnetic pole reversal, at least, that there is one underway. And they say we haven't had a full reversal for about 780 million years. Well, it turns out now they're saying that this South Atlantic anomaly is perhaps nothing out of the ordinary at all, and that it happens on a regular basis, as far back as even 8 to 11 million years ago. So what they're saying in this article is, well, perhaps we're not really going through a magnetic pole reversal. Right? They're just trying to keep us guessing.
I know. Have they no shame?
Confused?
A little.
In the dark?
Slightly.
Yeah, I think so. There definitely feels like there's all sorts of agendas going on. Some competing, and then perhaps even the ones that apparently are competing, maybe they're all part of a bigger plan that only a few know of. Deep recurring earthquakes detected beneath dormant Mauna Kea volcanoes. So you got Mauna Kea, you got Mauna Loa, then we have Kilauea, and it's in the process of creating a new volcano as well. And in fact, they were supposed to name it, and I'm not sure if I ever saw that name come through. So what is this? Why are these earthquakes repeating very, very regularly? So the USGS seismologists have detected deep, long-period quakes beneath dormant Mauna Kea, and at the depths of about 12 to 15 miles, occurring with surprising regularity every 7 to 12 minutes. While low-frequency earthquakes are not unusual, there are no other instances of this type of repetition anywhere in the world. Essentially, more than 1 million quakes were recorded from 1999 to 2018. What is that? A ticking time bomb?
I would watch it close.
So adding together the energy release of the tremors gives a total that is equivalent to a magnitude 3 under Mauna Kea every day. Now, it hasn't erupted, they say, in over 4,500 years. And, they're saying in this article that they don't think it is going to erupt or anything of the sort. In fact, they get to the point that they think it might be magma cooling underneath this particular area. And again, let's see. Let's bring up the USGS just so we could go over this. Oh, we had some new ones here. We have a 5.0 over in Indonesia. And we're going to talk about this one. There's a 6.3 that happened over here in the South Sandwich Islands. There was, and one of them just came off the map. Let's see if we do. Continue anyway. So these are curious because these are way in off the plate. But if we look to what we've been taught is that this part over here is basically separating. And so Africa is going to end up splitting into several different land masses. And it's curious to see the locations of these, as this is kind of the area where it is going to eventually break off. Now, of course, scientists will tell us that's millions of years from now. But is it really millions and millions? Or do changes happen a lot quicker than we think? I think they happen a lot quicker. And that's part of the hidden aspects of this. So Mauna Kea is over in this area. These are very much by Mauna Loa. Let's see if we... Sorry, guys, I don't want to take up too much of your time doing this. Let's bring that in there. There we go. Now we can see better. So you see these right here. These are right at the peak of Mauna Loa. And when we look at these, when you see negative 1.7 kilometers, that means it's above sea level. So that could be magma going. And then we have Mauna Kea over here. And then you have Kilauea. And what's going to end up, it's probably going to just keep increasing the landmass of Hawaii over here as we go on throughout time. But as we've talked about before, this is a plume. And this whole island chain is caused by basically a flow of magma that comes up And it's the crust that moves over time. And again, this always, to me, this is an obvious indicator that we've had crustal displacement. We've seen the crust shift at certain periods in time. And this is all very interesting as we're looking at that 6.3 quake in the South Sandwich Islands region. And I wonder if the energy from that had anything to do with those quakes over in Africa. So ESA's Sentinel-1 maps, 7.4 Oaxaca earthquake from space. That was that big one in Mexico that literally, when you get these huge ones, they actually impact the whole planet.
And they sure do. Look at the heliplots.
Yeah, definitely. So this was a big one. And they reported the depth at basically 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers, 7.4. And so they're able to see the energy over here transferred from satellites. And, you know, it's just fascinating to see all these Earth changes that are going on all around us. And so they say they're going to be able to, with this new model, forecast tropical cyclones 4 months ahead of time. So it's an AI world is what I'm getting from all this. It's you know, AI is coming out into the forefront.
Yeah, it's getting a little too personal.
Well, yeah, you know, and we'll get into that in another video that we have lined up. Droughts, rain, and record cold deliver dismal grain harvest for Ukraine and Russia. Now, remember, we were talking about China losing 85% of their crops this year. Here we see agricultural output in the Ukraine, which is a breadbasket, fell by 19% during the first half of 2020 compared to the same period last year. And Russia hasn't fared that well at all either. They're battling drought, and up to 60% of their harvest has been lost in the south. Prices are on the rise there too. And then, of course, China is going to be looking to buy. And a lot of people are not going to be wanting to sell when they realize, you know, exactly how dire the situation is globally with the food. And, of course, you know, obviously some of the governments have a much better picture than the masses do. But, again, so much of that's going to always remain hidden till the very last moment when you can't hide it anymore. And so the truth about MREs, meals ready to eat, often touted as a great meal option for preppers. But again, you know, there could be better, less expensive, and healthier options for storing emergency food. So, you know, look at the labels. There are so many very, very popular places to get things like this, these type of meals, which, you know, can have incredibly long shelf life. But when you look at it and it's loaded with preservatives and dyes, perhaps even GMOs, you might be better off doing something else different. And just keep that in mind, especially with a lot of the times these things could be very, very expensive as well. And, you know, there's so much out there right now. Obviously, you know, when you're starving, you're going to be appreciative of maybe even a can of SpaghettiOs.
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely.
You know, but at the same time, could you do things on your own, vacuum seal them, look at other options as well? There are stuff out there that have like 10 and 25 year shelf life. But again, you know, what's the nutritional value, and also what's the value of the food in other ways as well? Live food has life force to it, has ki, prana to it, vril. And stuff that's been stored forever like this, it will have calories, it will have protein, carbs, fats, your macronutrients. It won't have the life force though. That's a big part of it. So again, it's good to put a lot of effort into being able to grow your own food, long-term, sustainable, as opposed to just simply stockpiling stuff.
I think now, while we have an option and a choice, we need to choose healthy.
Most definitely. And you know, when we talk about the military, you know, that's something that the MRE and the military, they go hand in hand. But unfortunately, so does things like inoculations and these things that cause so many health issues for people as well. So I want to thank everybody for your patronage and also your support over on Ko-Fi. As always, guys, prep, be ready for anything. Stay positive. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.